Good evening. This is Eric Wayne with United Realty. Thank you for staying tuned and clicking on this. We're very familiar with this kind of business. It's very, very desirable. It's an essential business. People need to have their pools taken care of. That's great. So I did a search on the association website, which is the BBF, the Business Brokers of Florida Association. This is the largest association of business brokers in the country, happens to be here in Florida. And I'm a member since 2008. And what we do is we look at the 22,000 solds that are in this database of all of the agents' efforts over the last 20 years. There's 22,000 solds. It's an amazing resource. So we look at the solds, and I can pull up any filter that we want. I didn't restrict it by county because I wanted to be more specific on the financials and the industry. So I wasn't trying to find a business specifically in your county, although I can do that. I pulled up construction and pool spa. I pulled up the subcategories, and I'll show you what they were that are going to be coming up in this search. I did contractor. I know you're not a contractor per se. You're not building the pool. But I wanted that to be included if there was anything of your sales volume and of your net, which there's not because they do much bigger numbers. So the other category was more specific. It was pool and spa. I did pool heating, pool repairs, sales and service supplies. These are the categories that I selected. And I'm going to go ahead and use them as a submission. Then I didn't want to use all 20 years of data. I'm only going to go back 5 years, which is not as accurate as 1 year, because 1 year is really what people are interested in. But just to let some solds in, just to let you know what a healthy economy versus our current economy, which is different. So it's a blend of both. There's only 1 year, close over here, 4 years in the healthy economy. The adjusted net. I wanted to show any business making over 25 grand. I didn't want to show you businesses that were losing money because there are some of those that would be an unfair ratio. The adjusted net. What is the adjusted net? Well, it's the net that's adjusted. Really, what does that mean? That means any cash that might not have been added to the net, maybe money that didn't go into the bank, any amortization, depreciation, interest payments that didn't really have an expense to the business, but as a tax deduction, it was on the tax return. So we identify those and we remove them and add them into the profit. Also, any expense that maybe was a non-essential business expense, meaning maybe you paid for someone's college tuition or meals that weren't really business related, auto insurance that was for a personal vehicle, a cell phone, things like that are really profit that the new owner needs to know about, because it'll make you look more profitable. Instead of being 25 or 50, maybe you're making 75. And then the business becomes more profitable, more valuable to the sale, right? When you're making a sale, you want as much profit as you can. The gross sales maximum, I'm comparing it to 75 because I understand we're talking about 12 times 4,500, which is only 5,400 gross. I didn't want to compare you to 50, so we're going to go up a little bit to 75. Sources of data, if you're provable on the tax returns, that's awesome. P&L statement, annualized, any of these formats that we use in order to actually document the financials to a buyer, that's what we want to search against those. So if you're on the tax returns, I want to compare you to other businesses that are also on the tax returns, financials, profit. I'm going to show you with the comments. So with that criteria, and I'm going to sort it by sold. So the smallest gross I'm showing is 32. The largest one I'm comparing you to is 60. There's 7 results. You can see the assets that were included in order to generate those sales. This guy had 6,500, 3,800. Okay, that's the size business with the assets. Now I'm going to do a calculation of all of these. Pool service, pool service, pool service, pool service, pool sales and service. There's no contractors in here. Even though I clicked on it, there's nothing to build a pool, their gross sales annually is going to be much larger. So let's see what the averages come out to. First of all, sold price to adjusted net, 83 cents on every dollar of profit, right? Adjusted net. 59 cents on every dollar of profit. 1.9, a dollar, $1.07, 125, 118. The average was 1.1, 1 year and 10%, right? So if you're netting 100 grand to the owner, it's worth 110. If you're keeping 50, let's say, it's 55, that kind of thing. And that's the average. So some sold less, some sold more, right? You could be overpriced if you want and be on the market longer than the 107 days on the market. You can run a little bit lower, do it for 1 times the net. So if your net is 42, if you wanted to ask 42, then you probably move it a little quicker. Also, the other thing is we need to consider what year these were actually sold, and I can evaluate that. Were these sold in 2020 coronavirus? If it was before, then yeah, you're going to have more of an optimistic point of view with the ratio and the time days on market. If we're selling 2020, 2021, this might take a little bit longer, and you might not get 1.1 times the adjusted net. All right, so I hope this helped. My name is Eric. We'll list it for anything that you want us to try for. We're spending about 50 grand a year promoting our listings. I've been doing this for 31 years. I'm a top producer. I sell over $1 million worth of small businesses every year. Would love to talk to you further. If you want us to list it, there's no obligation to list it. There's no cost upfront to list it. It's a marketing agreement. It's not an agreement to actually sell. It's an agreement to allow us to legally promote it and market it. And if we're successful, we bring you buyers or offers. And if you like them, you accept them or don't accept them or counter. Or we'll get into all that. 954-562-2019. Talk to you soon. EricSellMyBusiness.com is the website. Thank you. Bye-bye.